Welcome back to my channel. I am your host, Count the Vampire. And as promised, I have a special story for you tonight. This is a story from Vampire's childhood and from many people's childhoods. I used to sit in front of the television and watch this while my mother baked pumpkin seeds. To tie up the end of this night of nights, All Hallows Eve, and to tie up the theme of this month, we'll be reading from the Disney's Legend of Sleepy Hollow. This is from the Little Golden Book series. I was planning on reading this in front of a nice outdoor fire tonight, but we're under a pollution advisory, so no open flames, unfortunately. So this was written by Kara Stevens and illustrated by Alan Batson. Batson, I like that name. He's the son of a bat, kind of like me. So it says, long ago, a new school teacher arrived in a small town of Sleepy Hollow. He was tall and thin like a scarecrow, with a small head and a pointy nose. His name was Ichabod Crane. Ichabod was a strict teacher. Some people liked him. Others, like Brom Bones, thought he was strange. Brom enjoyed playing tricks on Ichabod, but Ichabod never seemed to mind. There's old Brown Bones with the Sleepy Hollow boys outside of the old snooker and snop shoppy. So Ichabod was soon invited to a Halloween party, and he dressed in his finest clothes. At the party, Ichabod ate and danced and laughed, charming everyone around him. It was a perfect night, until the host of the party called for his guests to tell scary stories. That used to be very common in the Victorian era, to tell scary stories at Christmas. Ichabod did not like scary stories. Brom Bones went first. He was jealous of Ichabod because everybody liked him. Brom hoped the tale would frighten the school teacher so much that he would leave Sleepy Hollow forever. His story was about the Headless Horseman, a character who had a flaming pumpkin where his head should be. Every Halloween night, the ghost would ride through the town looking for someone to trade heads with. Oh, that's so nice. He wants to trade. He just doesn't want to take it, he'll trade. You want my pumpkin for your head? Oh, nice guy. He would try to catch any stranger he could find in the woods, but he could not cross the covered bridge at the end of town. And so there's Brom recanting the tale, bouncing on a chair, pretending to be the Headless Horseman. As Brom told the story, Ichabod grew very afraid, straight down to his boots. Though Ichabod knew that ghosts weren't real, the woods felt dark and scary as he traveled home later that night. The tree branches looked like hands reaching out to grab him. Kind of like the story we read on Friday Night Frights. The crickets sounded like they were calling his name. Croaking frogs seemed to say, Headless Horseman, Headless Horseman. Frightened Ichabod urged his horse to run, and they reached the blind through the dark until they raced blindly through the dark until they reached a clearing. Very good artwork. The trees Look like monsters. Yes, those are the best kind. Like Berenstain Bears, the spooky old tree. It's one of my favorite books. After they stopped to rest, they still heard hoofbeats. Something was coming for them. They hid in fear. Ta-dum, 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 ta-dum. When Ichabod realized the sound was just some reeds bouncing on a hollow tree trunk, he and the horse laughed. They felt silly. They had imagined that it was the headless horseman. But when they were feeling safe, another laugh joined theirs. An evil laugh, an angry laugh, a ghoulish laugh. Mwah! It was the headless horseman. See him up there on the top of the hill with the flaming pumpkin head. Ichabod and his horse jumped up and ran, and the ghost followed them into the woods, down the riverbank, through the water, across the field, and they raced far away from the headless horseman. But the ghost wanted Ichabod's head, and it wasn't going to stop until it reached him. And there's poor old Gunpowder doing the very best he can to save them. Finally, Ichabod saw the bridge in the distance, and remembered that crossing the bridge meant safety. So he urged his horse to go faster. And with a final burst of speed, they made it across. See, they're dabbing away their sweat. Oh, we made it across the covered bridge. In the little town that Vampire lived in Ohio, we had covered bridges like this to keep them from icing over in the winter time. When the headless horseman was done, the ghost heaved his flaming pumpkin head straight at Ichabod Crane. And the next morning, only Ichabod's hat and a few pieces of pumpkin were found lying on the ground. The school teacher was never seen again. Some people say that Ichabod left Sleepy Hollow for good, finding happiness in another town. But others say the headless horseman took him away. What do you think happened? Do you think that it was Brom Bones playing a dirty joke? And that it scared Ichabod so bad that he left? Or do you think the headless horseman came and got him? That choice is up to you. But have a very fun and safe evening. Remember, travel in groups. Carry flashlights so that people can see you. If you have to stop and tie your shoe, tell somebody so they could wait for you. Do not go into strangers' houses. Take only unwrapped goods from people you know very well. And when you get home, have your parents, older siblings, or somebody you trust, a caregiver, to go through your candy and inspect it and throw away anything unwrapped. Always be safe. There is no harm in safety. And remember, be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others. And don't forget to be kind to your animals. They know nothing but unconditional love. So Vampire and Joe Mosher will be taking the week off next week. It's just been a long month. 3 videos a week. 4 sometimes. It's a lot of time. But We're just going to be taking 1 week off. So, until then, we'll see you later. Joe Motion will have his show, and I'll have Monster Monday back. So you guys take care, stay safe, please. Have a very wonderful and fun evening of tricks and treats. And we'll see you the next time. Have a good night. And sweet dreams, if you could have them.